The original Dead Space came out of nowhere and showed us how fun strategically dismembering monsters could be. Now Dead Space 2 is upon us, and it's faster, gorier, and better than ever.
Oh my god! Fuck! What the fuck are you doing? Shit! Help!
It's been 3 years since Isaac Clarke found himself trapped on the USG Ishimura and fighting hordes of monsters known as necromorsphs. But things aren't much better for the downtrodden engineer in Dead Space 2. Here, Isaac wakes to utter chaos on the Sprawl, a space station in the midst of its own space zombie outbreak, and sets out to put an end to the madness while wrestling personal demons. That's where you come in. The setup to Dead Space 2 is simple but solid. Think of it as a haunted house attraction, but the best one ever. Shortly after waking on the Sprawl and immediately being treated to the horrors within, Isaac gets it in his head that he has to destroy a marker, an artifact that creates the monsters called necromorsphs. As a player, you then head on a series of point A to point B missions that are marked by tons of scares, betrayals, and really gross moments. I know lots of times we use the word linear as a negative, but it isn't in Dead Space 2. This controlled ride is scary and made my heart race. It strips out the backtracking and disorientation of the first game and replaces it with a ride that's fun and exciting from beginning to end. Special suits, upgraded weapons, and different difficulties kept me coming back. Another draw is Isaac himself. Yes, our hero talks in this game and it works, but the true hook is watching his internal battle. He's losing grip on reality, and the moments when he's talking to himself or the ghosts of the past are riveting. The other side of the story, Isaac's mission to destroy the marker, is a bit flat in comparison. Basically, someone is always telling him to go to the next place and do something. It works in that haunted house formula, but it isn't all that engaging and it misses the chance to have Isaac grow as a protagonist. Dead Space 2 is a survival horror game mixed with a third-person shooter. You'll march through the halls of the Sprawl, which are more diverse than anything seen before in this franchise, and you'll blast the limbs off the necromorphs you face. Being well supplied is key, so you'll need to stomp bodies for loot. You'll upgrade weapons like your trusty plasma cutter, fly around in zero-G, and take on monsters from your childhood nightmares, although there are very few huge bosses. Combat is beyond satisfying in Dead Space 2. You can freeze enemies with stasis, blast off one of their arms, then use that limb to impale the monster on the wall. That never got old, and neither do the improvements that make Isaac faster, stronger, and more badass than ever. He's ready for this fight. Dead Space 2 packs a multiplayer mode, but it's flat. Here 2 teams of players, necromorphs and humans, square off. The humans have an objective based on the map, and the necromorphs need to stop them at all costs. Each mode board mode, rush to an objective, live for as long as you can, and repeat. It just isn't interesting no matter how many unlockable weapons and suits there are to it. Dead Space 2 is the best survival horror game in this generation. It's well paced, it's scary, and it takes the main character to an emotional place few games ever do. Multiplayer's blah, and I wish the larger plot was a bit stronger, but that doesn't matter because the single player campaign is so good overall. The action, the suspense, and the reasons to replay it make Dead Space 2 a must-own for people looking to turn monsters into bloody stumps. For more corpse-stomping action information, check out IGN.com.